everybody, J.M. Manion here at the NPC Photo Gym. And we're obviously on the road to the Pittsburgh Pros. You've been seeing on and on and on. And I have next to me somebody that is so smart, they wore their Pittsburgh colors and I didn't, but
I came prepared.
I'm here with
Carolina Araujo.
And you are in Pro Bikini. Right?
Yes, I am a Pro Bikini competitor. I fell off on that one. I was like, you dropped it off from me and I didn't pick it up.
Okay, so a lot of you are probably sitting here going, well, where did she turn pro last year? She didn't.
I didn't.
Okay, so Carolina has been off the stage for how many years now?
It's been almost 3 years. Unintended, but almost 3 years at this point in time.
Now you turned pro where?
Turned pro at the NPC Universe in 2016. It's a long time ago, but NPC Universe.
Yeah, I mean, so I've known you for quite some time, and if you follow her on social media, you'll see that she did a lot of interesting rooftop exercises.
I did. I was keeping myself occupied, and I was just like, you know what, I might as well just share this with people because no one.
They're in the same boat as you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can only do that in New York City.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, because it's the only place where you'll have room for it. Everyone else, I'm pretty sure here people are running in the park. In New York, you find a roof, you keep it.
Yeah. All right, so let everybody know, what have you been doing all these years?
So for the past 8.5 years, I've been a personal trainer, and for the past 8 months, I actually started my online coaching platform. I work mainly with like lifestyle people that want to get healthier, lose weight, improve their bodies, so on and so forth. But I have been competing with the IFBB since 2017. And I did take a little bit of time off, and last year just so happened that I couldn't step on stage, but that's pretty much it. Personal training, fitness, I kind of live, breathe, that's all I do.
But like you said, we were talking before this, it kind of worked out for you as far as business-wise, right?
Yes, absolutely, and I think that, you know, aside from, of course, the downfall of last year, not being able to compete and having to spend time just, you know, masterminding, like, okay, how will I make money? I can't train clients in person anymore. So that was kind of the way for me to, okay, if it's now or never, you know, if I don't put this business together now, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So it kind of pushed me, you know, like I work good, I work well under pressure.
Right.
So it helped me to put the structure together, and then I've been kind of babying it and growing it ever since.
Oh, good, that's good. So tell everybody, how did you get into training? Because like we were talking, most people, a lot of them start in sports or different things, but that's not how you decided to do this.
Well, yes, that is true. I've always been an athlete. I did get into weightlifting because of like, you know, sports injuries and rehab, but I got into bodybuilding because of Amanda Latona. And for those that are watching this that don't know who she is, you need to, after you finish this video, drop everything and go look her up.
Amanda's one of the OGs, as we say.
Yes, yes.
Like the very first, like when we started NPC Bikini in 2009.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, that I did not know. But,
and she was one of the first ones that qualified to turn pro.
That I do know. That I do know. And I remember watching all of her videos and before and after she turned pro.
Here's an interesting fact. One of the other women to turn pro with Amanda, her sister is doing very, very well right now. So it's Janet's sister.
Oh.
Janet Laya's older sister.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
See, you learn things every day, don't you?
I know. I had no idea about that. But I saw a video that Amanda Latona did on bodybuilding.com, and she was talking about her background and how she got into competing, and I was just mesmerized by it. I was just like, you know what? Whatever this woman is doing, I want a piece of it, I want to give it a go. And that's kind of how slowly I got into researching about competitions, how to go about dieting, how to find a coach and things like that, and just went down. From that point in time, I think it was after maybe 1.5 or 2 years that I actually stepped on stage. I was in college, so I couldn't, anyone that goes to college and competes at the same time.
So you had to remind me how young you are right now. Thanks.
I'm getting to the point where, you know, there are other competitors that make me feel a little older.
Oh, please.
But I'm still very young. I cannot disclose
I'm not going to
that.
divulge her age, but I'm going to say she's not 30.
I'm not 30 yet.
Okay.
But I'm getting there.
Don't even try to give me that.
I'm getting there. But
Well, I have known you for an awfully long time.
it's been a while.
Because you
It's been
did
a
all the
while.
NPC contests you did
Yeah.
before turning pro.
That's true. So I did, I did four shows. I did, the two in 2015, and then I did 3 in 2016, and that's when I turned pro that year. But yeah, it's been a hell of a ride.
Well, go ahead.
Well, Amanda Latona, that's what we're talking about. I got into after college, I was on my senior year, I finished, I got on stage, and then after that, I won my first 2 shows, and I was like, I could keep doing this. This is great. If I keep winning, I'm totally gonna keep doing. And so I did really badly on the show after that. I won 2, and then I did the Arnold Amateur, and then I did really poorly, and then I kicked things up a notch and ended up getting my pro card after that.
Well, wait, you said you did poorly at the Arnold Amateur, but you also had an opportunity to bump into Amanda Latona.
That is
right?
true. That is true. I remember, and this is what we're talking just about a few minutes ago. I was telling everyone that how badly I felt that, I didn't play. I placed really bad. I think I placed like 14 or 15 out of like 20 something girls. And I got into the Team All-Max booth, and Amanda Latona was, I don't know if she's still working with them or not, but she was there, and she knew the coach that I was working with at the time. He introduced us. I told you, I nearly peed my pants because I was so excited. But and when I told her that I felt really crappy because I had done poorly, and she was just like, well, yeah, you should feel like that. You work so hard. This is what you want to do. If you're saying you want to turn pro, you should feel poorly when you don't do well. Have a drink, have a dessert, and then tomorrow get over it. Get to the gym and keep on working on your physique, working on your protocol, working on the things that you need to work on. But take the time to feel bad, because that's the only way that you're going to learn from it. That's the only way that you can improve, because now you know what you never want to experience ever again.
Words of wisdom, everybody.
That is true, and I mean, I am...
Well, what you said, like, a lot of your friends were like, oh, well, that's okay, it's not that bad, and you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, and I think that,
honestly, yeah.
It really did suck, and there was another instance that I felt like that after turning pro, too, but people are trying to be supportive. They want to make you feel better, so their first instinct is going to be like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Like, no, let me feel like crap, you know what I mean? Like, this is, there's so much that goes into prep, the dieting, the training, the cardio, all of the sacrifices, and just like, you should feel it. It's, you should struggle through it.
Right. So, you stuck it out, thank goodness.
Yes, I did. I didn't give up on the first obstacle.
Yeah, so, now, you're living up in New York. I know it was crazy last year, right?
Yes, it was insane.
So we briefly touched on the rooftop, but what made you decide, hey, I'm going to go up to the roof of where I live and work out upstairs on the roof?
We live in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's like maybe 650 square feet. It's 2 of us and a dog. It gets tight.
So you mean there's a dog and then the 2 of you?
Yes, exactly.
If I didn't have the dog, I won't understand.
Exactly. We have a balcony, which helps, but after a while, it's just, we didn't know what to expect. Like, no one is really going outside. If you do go outside, do you avoid people? Do you cross the street? So I was just like, well, the roof is empty. And at that point in time, it was still a little chilly out. And when I did start taking the videos, it started to warm up, but it was still chilly out when I started to go upstairs. And I was just like, oh my God, this feels incredible. It's like open air, like fresh air, open space. There's no one here because no one was thinking about exercising, because it was still the very beginning of quarantine. But I needed to move because I had just had to cut a prep short. I was 2.5 weeks out from my first show that season. It was going to be like my big comeback season. I hadn't competed in over a year at that point in time. So I was just like, I need to keep training. I need to find a way to move. And that was my little safe space there. And I'm glad I...
Now, when you were up there eventually over the last couple months, did you see anybody else on their roofs training?
Yeah, I did actually.
Oh, okay. So you started it and they picked up on it.
I like to think that.
Yeah, I think we just established that. Originally, there was no one else you saw. Then they were probably going, who's the crazy person on the roof? Oh, we could do that too.
Exactly. I would see people jumping rope. I'd see people, and then you see people in the balcony, and there's people doing yoga. Some people not knowing what they were doing, but people were moving.
So all of you in New York City, you can thank her later.
You're welcome.
See, you started a trend and didn't even think about it until now.
Maybe possibly just in Astoria. I don't know
Well,
about
that's
the
o-
rest of the city, but.
Well, things move pretty quick in New York. I'm sure the word got out that you were.
Oh, yeah.
You were out there doing it. I'm
Probably.
pretty positive.
We could coin that.
Yeah, I think we can.
We'll coin it.
Who's
We'll coin
gonna
it from
dispute it?
today on. There you go. It's on camera now. We
That's
can't
it.
take it back.
That's it. All right, so you're making your comeback this year, and I know you said that some people are like, why did you choose Pittsburgh Pro Bikini to come back at? Because it is a prestigious contest. It's had a lot of great competitors. But explain to people why you chose to go big.
Well, like you and I were talking about, Pittsburgh Pro really sets the tone for the rest of the season. You've mentioned this in the past, and many people mentioned in the past, like so many of the Olympia winners, people that step on the Olympia stage, of course, if you win the show, you get qualified, but so many Olympians have won at Pittsburgh, have competed numerous times in Pittsburgh. Plus, this is the show that I did my pro debut in. I decided, and people were telling me the same thing, like that you're saying now, like, why do you want to start with Pittsburgh? Right. Why don't you start with a smaller show? Well, if you want to be in one of the best in the world, why wouldn't you compete with the best?
Right.
And that's why, like, one, this show has kind of like a place in my heart because I just started, I started here. It is on the East Coast, and I feel like I still have a point to prove. So that's why we're starting here.
So tell everybody what your immediate plans are as far as competing.
So the lineup, the immediate lineup is 3 shows. I'm doing Pittsburgh, I'm doing Girl Power on May 8th, which is the week before New York Pro, and then I'm doing New York Pro, which will be the first one that I do in Florida.
Right.
I haven't gotten to compete in New York Pro there. And then I am planning on doing Chicago Pro, Texas Pro, and Arizona. And that's all contingent as to how the first 3 go, but I do have those 6 on for the lineup because I want to be able to get on stage. I feel like it's been so long that, and I feel like this is one of the years that I feel like my physique can really hold the beating a little bit because it is strenuous and it is tiring.
It's nice. You have like the 3 consecutive weekends.
Yes.
You can take a little
Exactly.
and then refocus for those other 3.
Exactly, and it's enough, there's a lot going on also, we're moving, there's a lot going on, but it gives me time to, if I need to refocus, if there is, physique adjustments that need to be made, conditioning adjustments that need to be made, I have enough time to do that, so.
Yeah.
Because of course the goal is to qualify for the Olympia this year.
Of course.
So we'll keep working on it.
Hey, listen, if you're not getting in a contest to win and qualify for the Olympia, then why are you doing it?
Exactly, especially at this level. I understand, at an amateur level, if you are just starting, you want to see how it feels. This is something you enjoy doing because, you're a lawyer and you like to work out. You're a doctor and this is, your hobby. Right. But when you get to the pro league, I think it's really a whole other level of competition. So, I do it. I'm very competitive with myself. I have plenty of friends that are also, pro athletes. So. We hold each other we push each other, we get each other excited about it.
Yeah, well, one of the other things she told me, getting back to the age issue, she's like, oh my God, there's going to be so many women there that are, I don't know, they're so much younger than me. I'm going to feel like the old person in the room.
Well, I feel like...
See how she didn't deny it?
Well, I did say that. I'm not going to say I didn't say it. But I took 2019 off, right? That was like the planned off season. And I feel like in that year and a half, because last time I competed was end of July 2018. So between then and end of 2019, when I started my prep, the one that I didn't go through with, so many girls turned pro. So I look at all of the pro shows now from last year, the ones that are end of last year, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't know any of these people. Who are all these women? And it's such a competitive, bunch of women. So I'm very excited, but I was just like, where are all my friends?
Well, that brings up a good question. So the other women that turn pro with you at the Universe and people from there, approximately how many do you think are still competing at this point? Now, like we talked about, Jessie Palmer had turned pro in that year, but she just had a baby, but she competed all the way up until... Exactly.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think any of the women that turned pro with me in that group are competing anymore. Michelle Rubino, Stacey McLeod, Alex, there's a couple of other girls, Danielle Tadeo, none of them are competing anymore. So there's this whole, group of girls that when we do the shoot, we always do the
Right.
shoot with you after, you got your pro card. And we got connected, and we connected through our pro shows after that. And then people just kind of weaved off. And
Right.
I feel like I'm the last one standing from that show.
So you're the last one out there waving the flag. Hey.
I was like,
hey.
NPC 2016.
And speaking of that shoot, we had fun on that Sunday championship, didn't we?
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Shooting outside the T-Neck Marriott. There.
Yeah, that's true. It's the show still there?
Well, I think if it ever moves back, it'll go back to there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember we stopped a lot of traffic that day, didn't we? When you were all walking back and forth in your bikinis, remember?
That's true. So J.M. has a whole routine that we do. You walk back and forth until we get it right, because half the girls like me don't know how to walk, don't know how to walk. But it was a ton of fun. I think it was such a good way to kind of start celebrating it, because we're all tired. That show was a monster. We got off stage.
It was like 1:30 or 2 in the morning, correct? That was that year.
Exactly. So we got off stage from, I remember the overall even, it was like 1:30, 1:45, and I didn't get back to my hotel until like 2 in the morning, and then we had to be up the next morning at like 6:30 so that we could start shooting first thing. So we hadn't really quite processed it all in, and then I think as we start to shoot it, we're like, oh wow, this is a whole new experience now.
Right.
We're pro athletes now, so it was really, really cool.
Yeah, and mind you, I had about as much sleep as they did. So
That's true.
It wasn't like, and I went through the different divisions and everything. And,
yeah.
But yeah, and it always ends up that bikini and figure are like the last two we do, and
yeah,
there was a fun group for both, but they were doing the thing last, and I had them all walking in a row or as they were doing.
Yeah, it was like
It was eventually like, ladies, just hold hands.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a catwalk, and then it turned into like one of us would trip, and then the other one would go the wrong way. There's
one would slow down,
everywhere,
yeah.
one slow down. It was just a disaster.
But it was a funny disaster.
It was. We all. I'm pretty sure I could say for all of us we all had a lot of fun.
It was fun. So, all right. So before we move on here, now being that this is your first time here,
Okay.
all right, was this bigger than you expected?
Honestly, I don't think. I just always wondered what it would look like. I don't think it's like bigger nor smaller, because when I saw videos, I saw like one machine, and then I would see another machine, and I was just like, huh. But I love it. I love this space. I'm really excited.
Because that's one of the things is that when people come in here, they're like, because you only see little bits and pieces online. You don't see the whole thing. And I know the first thing I do is when they walk in, I'll see them doing this because they're looking for this.
Oh, okay.
And they're trying to figure out where, because when you walk in here, you can't see this.
No, yeah, you can't.
Right.
I remember when we walked in, and when we went into the office, and I was just like, I saw the machines, I was like, oh, I guess we're going to get there later.
Yeah.
So I love it. I'm really excited to work out here.
Well, good. So do you want to give a shout out to anybody here?
Well, I'd love to give a shout out to my coach, Marco. Marco Rivera. He has been kind of like a rock through the past 3 years, actually. He started prepping me during my off season, and then kind of held me down during quarantine. And now we're getting ready to do an actual season together. So I'm really, really excited.
Okay, so before you move on,
Yes.
let me just point out to everybody that Marco's wife, IFBB Pro Bikini, Ysaira Robles, is one of only 2 pros that has won the Pittsburgh Pro Bikini twice.
She's won it twice? That I didn't know. I'm going to get in trouble. Sorry, Yashara.
All right? And you know the other person that's won it twice?
No.
What color bikini do you normally wear? This was
Yeah.
her signature bikini back then.
India won it twice. See? I know India's bikini color too.
I knew you would know that.
Wow, that is
They're the
true.
only ones that have won it twice in all these years.
Wow. It is a tough show to win. It's a lot of competition.
More interesting, India won it, then Ysaira won it twice, then India comes back and wins it the second time. So they book it. There was a 4-year span where they
held it down.
That's
That's
it.
really exciting. That's really, really cool. I'm excited.
So Marco knows what he's in for with you, with this
Yes,
contest.
he
No, what I'm
does.
saying is,
He does.
he
He
knows the
definitely
level
does.
of this contest.
And he trains me accordingly. So not only does he does my diet, he does supplementation, my cardio, my nutrition. he also trains me once a week. So we get to see each other in person. He gets to really see my physique, and he pushes me. And I think that's one of the really hard things when you're looking for a coach, is to find someone that speaks your language when push comes to shove, and it's really hard to like get through the few reps and get through the hard days. Like, it gets tiring. It's a tough sport, right? And
Well, he lived it himself competing.
Exactly.
And he lived it with her.
Exactly. So I think I have someone really, really great in my corner, and I feel really lucky.
Yeah. All right. So I just needed to digress. I wanted people to understand
Yeah,
the whole connection here,
yeah.
which is really fun.
And I mean, I met Marco through his wife, right?
Right.
So she did my very first posing lesson when I first started competing, and through there she invited me to work out with her, and that's how I met him. So before him and I started to like officially work together as coach and an athlete, I had known him for a few years.
Right.
So I knew what I was getting myself into, but I'm really excited I finally did it. So
Yeah.
Hopefully when you guys see me on stage, you'll think so too.
All right. All right. So now anybody else after Marco?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, family, everyone is always so great. They always understand it, even if they don't understand the sport. My whole family lives in Brazil, and none of them is really into bodybuilding. And, my sponsors, Pro10, who have been with me since I started, before I turned pro, and I took a long time off, and I reached out to them, hey, I'm coming back, and they're like, we got your back. We got this.
Great.
And Project AD, I actually just started working with them. John Binley has been incredible with the support and understanding and kind of pushing me through, and just this short amount of time, and kind of like looking into the future and getting me excited about the years to come in the sport itself without kind of like calling it short. So that's it. My coach, family, and my sponsors. I'm very excited. Thank you guys.
Right. So J.M. Manion.
Carolina Araujo.
We're going to be signing out. We're going to see you on stage in Pittsburgh, and we hope that we see the rest of you here as well. And we're leaving now for npcnewsonline.com.